professors that I've had so far have been amazing.
My professors made me feel comfortable by just knowing my name. When they say your name, there's just something that's like they care.
They made sure they could identify who we were and made a personal connection with us.
Every teacher went out their way to make sure that the students understand their expectations.
Right off the bat, they gave clear, specific, step-by-step directions on what the class was about, what type of materials, what type of textbook.
The professors are very good at giving you their expectations and defining those for you and giving you examples of what they expect.
They'll pull the syllabus up and actually go through and explain, what's expected and further detail of each thing on the syllabus. And that's been really helpful, actually, so we can ask questions at the time.
It makes you understand exactly what they're expecting and what you should expect from them.
There's never a moment where I feel like I'm just unsure of what's happening. They always are making sure that each student knows what's going on in class and that they meet their goal.
Right now I have a professor that the first thing she does is good morning, and she states, any questions? And she's like, okay, and before we leave, any questions? I want to clear anything before you go.
Some teaching techniques, I would say just kind of explaining their personal experience. That's how I learn, I think, is just kind of relating the material to real life.
We get speakers to come in and speak to us, and it's not just come in a classroom and read a book and do assignments. It's hands-on.
They made sure everybody was engaged. Not all the same students answer the questions. And they didn't force them, but they encouraged them to participate.
They just don't go on and on. Like, they try to interact with everybody, try to make sure everybody is actually following. They ask people questions.
My professors, they usually have lectures, but they're not always just talking at you. They make sure they're actually having a conversation, open to questions, and always are having the students interact with each other. So I feel like it's more conversational.
I feel like the professors really encourage engagement between the students, and a lot of the time those interactions bring out more conversations about questions we may have all had or topics we all wanted to cover.
I think the most meaningful thing in the classroom is when you can tell that the teacher is human. When they tell us the mistakes, tell us the grades they got in school, just to know that they've been where you are.
It was definitely nice to have each instructor explain how they went through, what they experienced when they were in school, what their thought process was.
The instructors would kind of say how what we're learning would transfer into the field by explaining personal experiences in the field. A really good professor that I had, she would always kind of relate what we were learning to her actual job that she actually did. So it was helpful to make those connections.
My professors had a variety of different assignments. We had labs, we have papers, written papers that we had to do, and projects. I would say the projects have been the most valuable. A lot of those projects relate to what is expected out when we will be in the job.
We had a volunteer assignment, we had to do a research paper, we had to do a presentation. All of those were helpful to kind of apply what we learned just in different ways throughout the whole semester consistently.
The variety of assignments that we get in class definitely helped me figure out that writing was a strong point for me. Learning how to apply my joy for reading and writing really helped me with a lot of the assignments.
The feedback from professors is huge also. You want to know what you did was right, but even if it wasn't, you surely want to know so you can fix it next time. And they're quick to do both.
The professors here are extremely flexible. If you let them know in advance, they're willing to work with you no matter what.
The professors definitely extend themselves further than they have to sometimes. In September, I had COVID, and they worked really hard to help me during that time, make sure that I had adequate time to feel better and adequate time to make up the work.
I actually had to go back to my country last year to like change my visa because my visa was expiring in November, and all my instructors went out of their way talking to the major departments, telling them about my issue and how I had to do things before the actual due date.
For the teacher to know we have lives, we have work, children, things happen, emergencies happen, and it's okay.
I had one instructor help me become more successful in school because I had no idea about the disability services. One teacher really went out his way to make sure to explain how the services work.
I didn't know I had a learning disability, and the professor here caught it. I don't know how she caught it. She caught it really quick, and I got all the support in the world. I felt comfortable and confident.
Everyone here, from the administrative staff to the professors to the tutors, it was this awesome experience that make you feel comfortable about learning, make you feel sure yourself about getting an education.
I love how everybody seems to care about your success more than anything. So that's the biggest thing for me and the most influential thing, and why if I decide to go to school again, I will always start here first.
Every single instructor, every single advisor, they have time to look at everybody to like actually make sure everybody that's a student at Stark State actually gets like the attention they need and the help they need.
These teachers and professors are so good at teaching. They care a lot, and you can really tell. There is so many great professors here.